Hi, my viewers and audience of Unmuted with Bismi Palatty podcast. I got another wonderful person today. Again, giving her strength to the other people, build their life, build their legacy in a different way. This wonderful trainer called Mariam Wilson. She is trying to help the high rated people like doctors, engineers, and nurses to go and find out their wonderful life in the beautiful countries abroad. So let me welcome Mariam Wilson to my podcast, Unmuted with Bismi Palatty. Mariam, thank you so much for accepting my invitation and then joining to this podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Bismi. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm so excited today. My guest is from my own country, India, and especially more than that, she is helping people to go around the world, not staying in India, but go around the world. And she is a trainer to help people to speak proficiently in English. So tell me about you, Mariam, who you are, what are you doing, and how you are inspiring people from your own hometown.
Okay, so the thing is what I do is I'm an ILS OET trainer, which is ILS is International English Testing System, and OET is Occupational English Test.
Mm,
So I'm doing that and helping out students and professionals to reach their destinations, which can be UK, US, or Australia, depending on where they want to go. And students, I help them in completing their ILS and choosing the country that they would like to travel to. Like earlier, it used to be the mostly it used to be the Australia or Canada, but nowadays students are choosing East Asian countries.
mm,
So we are trying to see. I mean, it is very not like earlier, but still there is each one is trying to see go to a country which is less occupied and
mm,
where they can get a future chance to be there.
Yeah, I understand that because if I think about my hometown, Kerala, at least one person it's outside the country because they want to go to all different countries around the world and then figure out how they can build their life. That's amazing that you're helping people. But the reason why you are with me today, unmuted with Bismi Palati podcast, is because of that the great shift that you had in your life because of your change of your the biggest changes happened in your life. So this unmuted, it's a podcast where we share our real life after a drastic change, usually through the relationship change to become a single mother, or by choice becoming a single mother, or because of the demise of your partner you can become a single mother. So I really want to connect with you, Mariam, to figure out, you were going through a wonderful life, all on a sudden a great change happened in a different ways, and then you have to become a carer, and then you need to look after your husband, and then you have to rebuild your life after he passed away. So that's where I really want to hear from you. How did you go through that tough time, and then how you recouped everything as a mother to help your son and build your life? Can you share your story a little bit with our audience?
Yes, it was tough. Actually, we were in Africa. My husband, before our wedding, he was in Africa, and I joined him after the wedding. So we were together for 11 years in Africa, and that's where my son was born after 7 years to us. And thereafter, when I came for vacation, I thought in Africa, the main thing is it's a one man rule.
Mm,
So that is President Museveni. And if there is a shift of rule, it can be hard for us Indians. And also, there was a time where we were not sure whether about the education. The education there is good, but not valid in India. So,
Mm,
and we thought like, all right, we just, so when I came here for a vacation, I got a chance to be here. I got into Technopark Trivandrum. I got a chance to be to be an executive there, and so I thought, okay, I will be here. And then my husband was still in Africa. He used to visit us on and off. But 2015, he was diagnosed with cancer.
mm,
So after that, after that full treatment, he had a relapse in 2016, and
mm,
2017 he passed away. Now the shift was very tough because I was a single carer for my
mm,
husband. I had to manage my son. At the time of treatment, my son was 8 years old, and by the
mm,
time my husband passed away, my son Joshua was only 10 years.
mm,
So it was a big shift because we spent all the money for treatment,
mm.
and it's not easy. It's
Yeah.
not easy at all. Yeah, and after that, after spending the amount, and we even lost the person, and getting back on my feet was really tough. But then it was God's grace and courage that what I am today. Now it's been 7 years. He passed away on January 1st, 2017, and
Mm,
now it's almost 9 years. It's almost
yeah.
9 years. It was a kind of a challenging journey, I can say, because we didn't know from where to start.
Mm,
It's like, I had to continue my son's education, and yeah, and it wasn't easy, but it was patience and trying to unlearn some things and move forward and not wait for the right time. Yeah, so that was it, and it wasn't easy at all.
that is a tough time to look after your beloved, look after your son, finding out that financial area of your whole family and the emotional mindset, like an emotional care that you need to give to your husband and to your son. As a mother, that is too much. Like, a person got like a capacity, and it's not an easy task that we have that full feeling and belief that he will come back to life. And then
Yeah,
when we had, like, that hope he was okay, and then relapsing again is
yeah,
really like a traumatized impact to him, to you, and to your son. I know that it's hard to talk about it. I still do remember when my dad passed away. I had to take at least 9 years to finish, like, at least to grieve on that loss and started to talk about it. And you're so brave to share your story with us and going through that emotional journey that you did. That's clearly showcasing that the inner strength that you have to stand strong, even though you're emotionally drained and, I would say crying inside, but you were showcasing that uh, powerful motherhood to your son. And it's not just your son, like, the whole society will be there. You need to manage all the expectations from the
yeah,
society and the financial issues. And I know that, if you are sick, all the expenses won't stop, and it will be doubled or tripled, and it's hard for you. And I'm so proud to see you, like, coming out from that lowest moment of your life and then bringing hope to many people. And I can see different students that going through your training sessions, having that hope of new life. So I really want to come back to that motherhood part of you, Mariam, because as a single mother, I know how hard it is to raise boys by myself, because it's hard to give them a right role model for them to look at and then learn. And science and studies are saying that you shouldn't be a double parent. You should not play father role and mother role. You need to be there as your genuine self to show that compassion and love to them. So I understand that that's tough for you as well, because Josh knows his dad up to the age of 10. All on a sudden, he lost him. And then he must be in that confusion stage. What will happen to me and to my mother? So the
Yes.
emotional distress that he had during that time is hard to manage for himself and as a mother as you. So I really want to check with you as a motherhood. How do you describe you as a motherhood right after losing your husband?
I think in the very beginning, I was very confused because it's not only my son that I had to take care. I had my mother-in-law too.
Okay.
Yeah. I just had to put in all the courage I God gave me and just move forward. That's the time after a month or two, I took up my training with British Council Mumbai and tried to move on because I had to be a full-fledged trainer
Mm.
because I had to start somewhere, and I was encouraged by a Pakistani doctor
Uh-huh.
to start the online for her to teach her online, and she was based at that time in New Zealand.
Uh-huh.
So actually, I started my online only because of her, and that's when I started getting maximum number of online candidates internationally from
Mm.
international sector, not from India.
Mm.
First I didn't start with India, it was other sector, but I had a good help at that time, so I could manage my home and all matters at that time. But still, uh, just all of a sudden, you become alone. There's nobody to share your thoughts,
Mm.
nothing. We just have to move on. I could only try to, and my son was not of that understanding age.
Yeah.
He just would ask why this happened, because
Yeah.
we actually brought up the full family,
Mm.
and suddenly he feels the loss of his father, because for him his father and both of them were just like friends.
Mm.
Yeah, so it wasn't very easy to explain, because even he doubted even he doubted why God did this.
Mm.
But then, as a mother, I used to pray for him, and yes, he's now 18 years, and
Okay.
I know 19. He's 19. He
Okay.
completed 18. It's 19 years, and yeah, it's not easy to manage a teenage child
Mm.
with no mentor, especially no male mentor. It's
Mm.
not easy, but yeah, by God's grace, it's a challenge, but we got to keep going.
Mm. I can clearly see that family and faith is a core component in your life, because you have to look after
Yes.
your mother-in-law, and at the same time, you have to grieve on your loss. You have to look after your son, who was enjoying his childhood, but have to give him courage, and then tell him or showing that yes, you will be there all the time to look after him, and nothing is going to take away from, because the best part of his life is gone. So I can clearly see that confusion and that distress that happened in him. And I love the way that you connected with your faith, and then keeping God close to your heart. and always
Yes.
giving priority to him, because that's a real strength for people like us, that we don't have anybody to lean on. So we always give priority to our creator and then figure out, how can I be a strong person? How can be the best mother? How can be, in your case, best the daughter-in-law, because you need to look after, must be the old age mother. So she also grieving for his, like, his death. So all those bit, I can clearly see that you were going through that grief a lot. So how did you manage that time? What was the strength that you gained during that time?
It was only prayers and faith in God, because we couldn't explain our situation to anyone,
Mm,
because we live in a society of criticism. And so uh, we have to hear whatever we had to hear at that time.
mm,
So even people used to say that we spend a lot and nothing happened. We just spend a lot and neither the person was there, or neither the person is there, or nor the money.
mm.
So,
So you
but then I did
yourself.
the best.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did the best I could for uh, to help my husband to live. Yeah, the best treatment it was, but I don't know. I think God's time is different.
Yeah. Yeah, I can clearly see that you were muted because you need to really get along with the situation. The society is always there to put all this, like, backlashes over us. Whatever we do, they may have different eyes and they will be talking different things. And then you need to clearly mute yourself and then look forward to help your husband, kids, and your family. So I feel like, muting you and then putting everything under your emotional, like, well-being, and show that face that, yes, I'm okay, I'm going okay with that, um is hard thing. And I learned in the hardest way that hiding or muting ourselves is giving more pressure to your body, giving unnecessary anxiety, depression, maybe, like, hiding from all other things. And
Yeah.
that will really impact your capacity to do the things that you like. That will reduce your self-care and all different issues will come. That's the time that I started to talk about my story. I started to help other people to unmute yourself. And I know that you haven't shared this story with many people at all because you were putting that inside your heart and then showcasing that brave face on you. But I feel that pain, Mariam, because I was there, being alone, showcasing that the bravest mother in the world face, and then doing everything by myself. But there is a toll on us sometimes if you are not sharing. So it's a good time when you share it, you are actually reducing your stress inside. So I hear you and I can understand the pain to raise a teenage and then turning 18 and they're still your little baby, but their thought process are going really according to the society, and especially in India. I can imagine how hard it is to raise a boy with all the values and all their goals in their life, and everything is challenging in every country, but I can understand in India it is really hard. So how did you, like, cope up with all this stress, all this all, I would say, physically, mentally, and emotionally, you were drained all those time raising your son as a mother. How did you actually, I know that prayer is your the core help that you got, but other than that, what was your strength that you developed as a single mother?
Yeah, so I developed patience. It was not easy to do the role of a father, a mother, a mentor. It wasn't easy. And also, with regard to my career, I had to do something to keep
Mm,
myself going. And that's the time I started my online classes, and so that I could be at home whenever my son needed me, at the same time earn a living.
mm. Yeah, that's
Earn a
great. So it's
living.
more
Yeah,
of like patience, prayer,
yeah,
and
patience. Yeah, patience, prayer, and a lot of sacrifice, I can say.
mm, you had to make your choices as your last choice and then give other
Yeah,
priority. Yeah, that's what we always do because, especially in Indian tradition, you have to sacrifice. Like, the womanhood is the symbol of sacrifice, sacrifice in every area. But as a mother, it's a selfless sacrifice for your son or your family. But as a woman, you are actually bringing back your career again, give to empower other people, and I would say empower more women. So how do you feel about that when you train the other professionals like doctors, engineers, and nurses looking forward to a good career around the globe? How do you feel when you empower them? What is your I would the gauge of satisfactions that you acquire when you do those things.
yeah. So the main thing is, I get self satisfaction because I motivate them, and
Mm,
I make them believe that if they believe that they can do something, they can do it. There's
mm,
no need to think. There's no need to think twice. Will I be able to do it, or will I just will I just be there? So
mm,
there are many candidates, even doctors, who have told me, "See, we have not studied in English medium school, or I'm not very sure whether I will pass in the first attempt."
mm,
But I would encourage them and say, no, this is a I would just make sure that wherever their weak points are,
mm,
I would strengthen it and just give them the confidence.
mm,
And so there are times I don't teach only the Indian nationalities. I teach Bangladeshi, Pakistani, Palestinians. That's how I started, and now mainly it is now it's a bit low. I mean, it's a dip, I can say, but still I do motivate. I do continue to motivate them because motivation is something like whatever be their profession, that is something lacking actually.
mm,
There, yes, they could be good surgeons, they could be good pharmacists, or even excellent in their career. But when it comes to the language level, they feel that because of the language, they can, just be behind.
mm,
So I just tell them, no, it's nothing like that. Anyone can start anywhere and at any time. We don't wait
mm.
for it. Because
Yeah.
when we wait, that's when the procrastination steps in, the lethargy steps in, and also we might end up doing nothing.
Mm,
We might end
yeah.
up doing nothing. So I just encourage them. I encourage them. And when I encourage them, even my spirit is also lifted. And it helps me to speak to many people at a time, and also helps me to open doors for them.
Mm,
uh, like uh, like they don't have to believe in the negative part or the negative side, or they don't even have to think about it. They can
mm.
just be positive and move on.
Yeah, that's a great encouragement because I believe like you gained the strength of patience and perseverance through your life. And then you can see that you started all on a sudden, taking your career into different ways and took your inborn skill set to help other people through your certification, through your training. So it's easier to connect with your life and share that to other people, and then avoid that procrastination. So I really love the way that are taking each and every students in a separate way and then helping them to change their habit, change their belief, and change their mindset. And Communication is really important. Like after 25 years in Australia, I'm still getting trouble with the language and the clarity in communication and accent and pronunciation, not just in the corporate world, in the community, and even with my boys, because they do have their own accent and their own language. I would say they have their own different vocabulary, which I can't even understand. So
Yeah.
that's the place where you helping people, because you are helping people to figure out how the test will be, how you can connect to answer the questions that they will have in their proficiency test. It's not that you know the things, but it's more of like how you present or how you share that during your test. Because the stressing time is that when someone is assessing your skill set. So you need to be
Yes.
vigilant, you need to be very patient at the same time, deliver that 100%, then only you can pass. So I love the way that you mentioned that you are changing their mindset rather than pushing them or by
Yeah.
heart the things. So it's more of like, I love the way that you used to train people, give all different types of YouTube videos, and then asking them, yeah, look at that and see how they are telling the topic, how they are sharing the content. It's more of like finding out the different ways rather than by heart an answer or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I love the way that you training people, because I do remember that when I was having session with you to improve my communication in the corporate world, you were picking up the, different areas that I was lacking clarity and helping me to improve the way that you should be doing our grammar in between. Like always, I used to have um, mistakes and still having the, but I could feel that yes, I made a mistake here, because you were really pushing me to figure out what is the wrong thing that you are doing. The way that you picking up all conversation is improving that confidence in communication. So I really love the way that you were training people around the globe through your online session, Mariam. So I just want to check with you as a mother, as a trainer. It is draining to hear other people's story. It is hard work to mentor different ways, because sometimes the competency level will be like really in high level. You just want to give little tips, but sometimes it will be really low, and you need to put lots of effort and then make sure that they go through the test and pass. So what will be the activities that you do as a mother and a trainer to fill your cup before giving that to other people, to take care of yourself?
Yeah. So I kind of listen to music so that it calms my system.
Mhm,
And then I spend a lot of time in meditation,
mhm.
that's in prayer, and in
Yeah.
thanksgiving, because that's how I kind of recognize myself and I feel light. Only when I feel light, I can help them in. I can help my candidates in their area of weakness.
Mm,
And I also learned that like when we believe in ourselves, we can just move on.
mm,
So when they come up with this issue like it's too early to take the test, or maybe they're struggling with they have a help at home, but maybe they are uh, they have children at home to take care, and in spite of the fact that especially surgeons and doctors, it's difficult managing home and getting into class. But I just tell them it's okay, you can take your time.
mm,
Yeah, so that's a kind of a comforting thing for them too, because I'm not going to hurry them, or I don't hurry them, and I help them where they need help,
mm,
where they need help. And with regard to my son, he knows my timings, and whenever I have a gap, I tell him, okay, I have this much time gap, and then I try to sit with him. We try to pray together because sometimes the classes can be late, Then I
Mm.
just tell him, okay, to pray and sleep. But he's understanding because being a single parent and managing everything is just not easy,
Yeah.
just not easy at all. Yeah. So I just kind of balance between the
Yeah,
between class. Yeah.
that's great that he is actually realizing that you are working hard for him as well to give a living for him as well. I know that it's so hard to identify during the teenage time, but yeah, thank God he is an adult now so that he can do something better. But I know that the system back in India, even though they are 18, it's so hard to get a job or like, getting their living because you will be concentrating on the studies and things like that. But anyway, God
Yeah.
is actually showcasing a path for us. I would ask you one more question about your mindset. Like, after becoming a single mother or going through this tough time, I would like to check what is one habit that you changed or you started to become such a motivator for people?
So I realized that we have to just find out, like even if I'm teaching, I just find out if everything is okay with the candidate.
Mm,
Sometimes they come after a busy day and they can tell me that I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I help
mm,
them in what they can do at that particular time,
mm.
so that we don't have an empty class. Or
Okay.
I don't tell them, okay, it's all right, we'll do the class tomorrow. And
Mm,
sometimes maybe they are young mothers, and they're not able to get into class because maybe their child has not slept yet.
yeah.
So I wait for them, I give them another time. So it's understanding the other person's, putting ourselves in their shoes also. So
Mm,
that's what I kind of understood, because earlier it was my husband doing everything and I didn't have to think about this side at all, you
mm,
know.
mm.
But then suddenly I had to think about all sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't, the shift wasn't easy and still not easy,
Mm,
because the financial part relies totally on me, and there's nobody to ask us anything.
yeah.
So I have to make sure that there's food on the table, and
Mhm.
life still goes on. So it's not easy at all. It's not easy, but I kind of, it's the confidence in God, and that God will not leave us. He will not leave widows or the fatherless children,
Mm,
is my confidence and my faith in God. And yeah, it's that which keeps me going. And yeah,
yeah.
so that's something I even tell my candidates, that
Yeah.
every stage is different, but we finally will get through with God's grace.
Yeah. I love that the way that you unlearned all the things about finance management and doing every household things because your husband was doing, you didn't want to think about it, and all on a sudden take it off and then learn all those new things. But I always so grateful to hear from you, like a respectful trainer, and then all this hard time happened in your life, but still that close connection with our God, and then making sure that you are sharing that to your candidates along with your son. So that's a powerful testimony of your faith, because sometimes when you are going through the tough time, you will lose faith in God, and then you will be accusing our creator for everything. Why me? Why it's just me? Why I'm having this trouble? But you are showcasing that connection and faith, so that you are building a family of, like, your Josh will become a big family soon, but you are showcasing him as well, like, connecting to your creator. That's where the change is happening. And that's a great motivation for many people who are listening our podcast through Spotify, through our YouTube, and around the world, because people will be going through similar time, and they may be thinking, what do I do? I can't really do anything because I didn't know anything about all the things that my husband used to do. I was simply there, or maybe like enjoying my life without knowing the trouble behind it. So how do I start from the scratch? So your life is showcasing that it is doable because you started from Africa, a wonderful life, and then was having everything in your life. All on a sudden, you had to change your lifestyle, depart from each other, train yourself, and then bring people from different part of the world and help them. And then you became a carer. Then you became a carer for your mother-in-law and a carer for your son. And then now you are caring different people around the world. That's amazing, Mariam, because you are touching many lives. You may not be knowing that because you will be training someone, but that
Yeah.
one person is a core connection for many different families. So one person going through different countries as surgeons and doctors, they're touching many lives. Like, you are giving back to them. But I'm thinking you cared for your husband, but you're giving many surgeons back to the community so that they can look after all those people who are suffering through similar incidents that you experience. So it's a very powerful way that you are giving back to the community, and I'm so proud that you are doing it. I just want to check with you. I know that you did go through different results of your IELTS and all different tests that you were helping people. Can you share some of your proud moment about your students, like some testimonies that you had from your students? That okay, this is what happened with your training, and this is where I am now, so that I can share our audience, like how your training is impacting other people's life.
Yeah, so I got a chance to go to Kuwait in the year 2019.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, their trainer had the trainer for that particular institute had just left, and there were
Mm.
many students waiting to get the ILS. I mean, to do their test, but they felt they were fine. But when I started training them, I realized they were not yet prepared, and that's the time I started. It was only a week after I trained them. They took their test. I told them now they could take their test, and they got a 9. In
Mm.
general, I was getting a 9 in reading or especially in reading is not at all easy.
Mm.
And she couldn't believe it because she's now in Canada, and she and that was a great success for her. And there are many doctors like from Trivandrum Medical College, and also many Pakistani doctors and Bangladeshi doctors also, uh, especially from the GCC countries. They felt that after being a doctor, when they go and sit in the GCC country, they hardly do anything. So to actually to enhance their profession, they feel that they should write the test. So what happens is at the time when they're writing the test, and which can be 10 years after their education time,
Mm.
so the reading will be less because of their work that they're
Mm.
working. Also, they kind of become stagnant in that particular job because there's nothing new. There's nothing
Mm.
new. So
Yeah.
that's when they try to shift. So when they try to shift, they'll say, "Okay, inshallah, let's see how I get the band." And then they'll say, when they get the result, like yesterday, it was a Bangladeshi doctor from UK, and he just
Mm-hmm.
sent me the result, and he said that he cleared. He had no hope actually. And also there are doctors, maybe they got a 6 band in ILS maybe two
Mm.
or three times, and then they say, "No, ma'am, I've already always got a 6 band." I said, "Okay, let's try it now."
Mm.
And with me, I've gotten a 7.5 in the first attempt itself. And so they're just there, and I think it's all God's grace. That's what, because I
Mm.
pray a lot for my candidates that no one should repeat
Yeah.
That's the main thing. And so that's very encouraging when they themselves feel sad, and suddenly even after the test they'll say that no ma'am, I don't think I'll be able to make it. I don't think I'll make it because I didn't complete the letter. Maybe the doctors will say I didn't complete the letter, but the
Mm.
criteria is different when an examiner is looking at the paper.
Yeah.
So they go by the organization of the letter.
Hmm.
And they get the band that they require. So that's when every time there's a result and it's a victory, it's actually a great thing for the trainer. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, I kind of think, okay, so yeah, not bad. I'm able to. It's good enough. I'm able to do something in someone's life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a. I think it
Definitely.
just brings about the positive spirit in me, and it feels that I feel that yeah, I should just go on doing this and helping out people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like thinking while listening to you, because when you share your experiences and comparing the other people, they are massively advertising about their training and their institute with the false I would say, like, mainly like, the way of their advertisements are not really fruitful, but you are here, like, with a gentle smile and then sharing like a high achievements that you are making in your life through this training. But you are not really like, giving false, like a false hope. You are really giving
yeah,
the right and the grounded way of encouragement to pass the test, because you are dealing with highly efficient people in their
yes,
in their area, because they are doctors. They passed
yeah,
those hard tough subjects because they are intelligent people. But it's more of like that communication. They must have, like, lived their life in different mother tongue, and now they need to
yeah,
channelize their energy in a different style. It's more of like that you are unlearning what's in the brain.
yeah,
So I like the way that you are grounded, and then you are sharing that way, so that will give confidence to the students, like, rather
yes.
than, oh, I need to test this, I need to do this, I need to practice all those stressful things. But you are actually helping them through the mindset process. That's a really encouraging. I really want to check with you. I know that many people, not just in India, all other countries, non-English speaking countries, they are trying to come to different countries, especially to Australia these days, because Australia is one of the safest place in the earth to live and build your life. And I was having conversations with the different people. This is the place that you can have freedom for everything. And in this world of uncertainty, people are trying to come here. So the people who are trying to come over to countries like Australia, where the English test is a must for their skills to be recognized, what will be your top three advice that they can do in their regular life? I know that training is a must to pass the test, because you will be training them with the exact questions that may come up, the exact way how the trainers will ask, because you were also a person who were marking the test, and then what are the areas that we need to concentrate. But in a daily life, if I am a person skilled in my area, but I do not know English much, what will be the three things that I can do to improve my communication in English?
Yeah, so the three things, once you decided, like, okay, and my regional language is not going to help me to move forward, I would suggest that listening to anything in English which the candidate is interested,
Mm,
to develop listening, like maybe listening to any kind of any news or the headlines, or even maybe something like documentaries,
mm-hmm,
anything that they love to listen. And if they're interested in music, they can even listen to English songs.
mm,
And apart from that, reading, to
mm-hmm,
develop reading, because You see, reading, it makes our mind also to work. Like it removes the fog actually,
Mm,
reading. So listening and reading would be a great thing for anyone interested uh, in getting into language proficiency. Like
mhm,
it's like that for any person. For example, how did we learn our mother tongue? It's
mm,
only by listening. We didn't go to school to learn mother tongue.
yeah.
So the same thing is for the English language also. It's only think in English. So they will
Mm,
have to change their mindset to thinking in English and not in their regional language.
mm,
And many students, I do not teach in the regional language. I do not translate anything to regional language. It's only
mm,
English because
mm,
that doesn't work. Actually, that will benefit me, but it's not going to benefit the candidate. The
mm,
candidate will be able to clear, because there are many candidates who have approached me after their first attempt in the institute, but they have not been able to clear. But then we start from scratch. We start from listening and reading, like
mm.
listening to podcast, reading journals. All these things would help actually a person who's thinking of actually pursuing any kind of professional English test.
Mm, yeah. So reading and listening, that's the main thing that we have to do, because it's more of like different ways of talking is actually a good way of finding out. And I still struggle to understand English movies. I need subtitles
Yeah.
to figure out what
That
they're
that's
doing.
yeah, that's main thing is when we are in India. Actually, in the schools in India, we start with writing and not reading.
Mm, mm.
Whereas
Okay.
if you can see where you are, the schools kind of start with reading and not writing.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that there's a difference there. So, but when they are students and they're doing their ILS, it's okay because they're already in that realm.
Mm,
They're already in that dream. Only thing we have to bring the seriousness, like yeah, you got to work on this and then you will do well. Yeah,
mm,
because they need the band scores to join the university.
yeah.
Yeah, and we just got to guide them a bit. But when
Mm,
you have finished your education and after 10 or 12 years you're going to write this test, there's a lot of gap between reading and listening. A
mm,
lot of gap has already developed. So we have to just be in that realm of reading and listening to just move on with the language proficiency, or to excel in communication.
that's great. So, if you are listening us now from any platforms, and if you think that yes, I need to get my bands better and ready to go around the world, I would highly recommend Mariam, because it's like a guarantee that you will pass. Because she got a specific model of training depending upon your profession. It is not just one for everyone. It's a different way of connecting the content. And I think even the YouTube channels, or the content that you share for your students are different to different professions. So if you
Yeah,
think that, okay, I tried different places, I spent a lot of money and I couldn't do much, I personally connected. I personally tried Mariam's style of training, and even with the ratings that she is sharing is so affordable, and the timing wise, as she mentioned, she will wait for us according to our time. She doesn't care what's the time zone we are in, that she is available according to your need. So I know that everybody is busy in their life, but the patience that she gained through her single motherhood, and I would say that that perseverance that she had in her life, actually putting that thing in her current vocation. I'm not saying that it's a job for you, Mariam, because you take that as a vocation, because you're praying for your
yeah,
candidates. You're taking them as close to you, to your life, and then bring that energy and mindset. So that faith and family relationship and the finance of other people, because they are also spending a lot of money to go around the different places. And then identity as a woman, that's your feminism that you're showcasing. You're understanding the other candidates from their shoes and then giving them opportunity about their life to be up there according to their dream. So I'm just thinking about this 4F framework of the intersectionality that I always think for a single mother or any motherhood is like faith, family, finance, and feminism. And then you are actually connecting all those four in a very subtle ways, but very close to heart mindset that you are showcasing to the candidate. So it's really great to see mothers are helping the other people around the world. So I highly encourage everyone check with Mariam's free classes available. So she is giving free sessions and demo, and then see that is actually connecting to your need. And if it is connecting, I would highly recommend and find out that energy to make your dream a reality. So I just want to check with you, Mariam. I know that you are giving that individual connections and then powerful mindset to people. But the people who are listening to my podcast may not be there soon. So I just want to check with you. What can be three advice that you can give to the other people who thinks that, okay, I need to change my communication style, or I need to start something like you did in your life? And what can be the three things that we can pick up from you to improve the motherhood being alone? So in your case, it's all on a sudden you became like in a single mother. You became a parent for your mother-in-law and for your son. And then you became the person who look after the finance. It's like it's all on a sudden at the same time grieving the loss. So give us some tips that we can take from your wisdom.
Yeah, so people usually, uh, when we are thinking of a shift, people take time. They kind of think, okay, wait, let's wait for the right time. But the right time and waiting, that will not come. When we have to act, we have to act fast, because we can waste a lot of time, and then time is money, and also time is, when time moves on, lethargy steps in. Once
Mm,
lethargy steps in, then we kind of become, we don't get to where we want to go. So we just have to move, and we just have to move and be, and also keep our focus on what we want to be. Okay, it's like not waste time. Sometimes our attitude, there is an attitude which says, okay, let's wait for the right time, it just happened now, let's wait for maybe one year, let this all settle down. But that's not going to happen at all. It's not going to
mm,
settle down, our emotions are not going to settle down, nothing is going to change. We
mm.
have to change our mindset. That's very, very important. That's what I learned from this journey.
That's an amazing three things that I picked up from you, Mariam. Time, focus, and attitude, because time will not wait for you. So you need to focus on what you need to do, what you want to do, and then what's your dream. And then you need to change the attitude, because if you think that you're waiting for an year to settle, that's not going to change. You need to change your mindset. So allow those three tips: time, focus, and attitude. So mothers out there, the people who are trying to build your dream through a wonderful communication style and then clarity in communication. You need to connect with Mariam and change your attitude and change your focus. And time is now. So, thank you so much, Mariam, for coming and joining this podcast and sharing your story. Very personal and very emotional story, but I can see that took that real gold nugget from your life to share that around to the other people. And I wish and pray that our Almighty God bless you and bless your students so that they can really shine and do their job around the world. So thank you so much for joining us and all the very best for your future, Mariam.
Thank you, Bismi. Thank you so much.
So, my listeners to this podcast, Unmuted with Bismi Palatty, I am bringing mothers. I am bringing people who are inspiring other people around the world. And this wonderful episode is helping you to become a better person with communication with clarity. So, if you want to connect with Mariam, I will be putting all the details for her connections, her WhatsApp number, so you can have a first free demo with you and then connect from there. Your dreams will come true. But at the same time, if you think that you have a story that muted for a long time and you need a platform to unmute it and then share the wonderful strength that you gained through your tough life. Because if you're sharing your story is your power, and at the same time, sharing is healing. So, this is Bismi Palati unmuting each and every raw stories of mothers around the world. And stay tuned for our next podcast. Every Thursday, we will be uploading that in our YouTube and Spotify. Until then, thank you and bye.